Let's be partners, not rivals. How the first day of the Trump-Xi meeting unfolded. The first day of the summit was marked by lavish ceremonies and important meetings concerning trade between the United States and China, Iran, Taiwan, and other sensitive issues. On May 14th, U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping began negotiations in Beijing. This marked the start of the first visit by a U.S. president to China in nearly 9 years. According to the New York Times, the summit could determine whether relations between the two countries can improve and what would be required to achieve that. Welcome ceremony. Xi welcomed Trump outside the Great Hall of the People in central Beijing. The two leaders shook hands and walked together past an honor guard and children waving flowers and flags. Standing on the steps of the hall were several officials from the Trump administration, including U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, and others. Among them were also Trump's middle son, Eric Trump, as well as business leaders such as Tim Cook from Apple, Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, and Elon Musk from Tesla and SpaceX, along with executives from other major American companies. Bilateral meeting. Inside the Great Hall of the People, Trump and Xi held talks lasting more than 2 hours. The discussion began with reflections on the importance of bilateral relations. Trump also emphasized their personal relationship. "You are a great leader. Some people don't like when I say that, but I'll say it anyway. Some say this could become the biggest summit in history. Relations between China and the United States will become better than ever," Trump said. Opening the summit, Xi stressed that stable China-U.S. relations benefit the entire world and called on the two nations to become partners rather than rivals. "If we cooperate, both sides benefit. If we confront each other, both sides lose," Xi said. While Trump and Xi were meeting, China's Customs Administration approved export licenses for several hundred American slaughterhouses to export beef to China. After Trump imposed his initial tariffs, China had allowed many of those licenses to expire without renewal. At the same time, overall trade relations remain uncertain. However, members of the American business delegation appeared optimistic after the first meeting. Asked what had been achieved, Elon Musk replied, "A lot of good things." Taiwan, China's most important issue. Although Trump attempted to promote the idea that the U.S. and China have a special relationship, Xi's tough tone on Taiwan dominated Thursday's talks. During closed-door negotiations, Xi reportedly warned Trump that disagreements over the self-governing island of Taiwan, if handled incorrectly, could push the world's leading powers toward confrontation and even conflict. However, Secretary of State Marco Rubio told NBC News that U.S. policy toward Taiwan remains unchanged, warning that any Chinese attempt to seize Taiwan by force would be a terrible mistake. Rubio also described Xi's remarks as routine diplomatic practice. "They always bring this up from their side. We always clearly state our position and move on to other topics," Rubio said. In recent weeks, China has increasingly emphasized that Taiwan lies at the core of its interests and is key to stable relations with the United States. Trump demanded that Taiwan increase its defense spending, and in December, the White House announced an $11 billion weapons package for the island, the largest in its history. However, the United States has not yet begun deliveries, and Trump previously said he intended to discuss the matter directly with Xi in Beijing. China wants the Strait of Hormuz open. Iran was also on the agenda when Trump sat down for a 2-hour meeting with Xi on Thursday. The leaders reportedly agreed that the Strait of Hormuz, effectively closed since the beginning of the Iran conflict, should be reopened to meet global energy needs. In an interview with Fox News, Trump said Xi personally offered to help resolve the war. However, considering China's strategic partnership with Iran, it remained unclear what exactly that meant. "He wants the Strait of Hormuz open," Trump said. "He told me that if there's any help he can provide, he would like to help." Trump also said Xi opposed the introduction of any transit fees for ships passing through the strait and expressed interest in buying more American oil in the future to reduce China's dependence on Persian Gulf energy supplies. China, which has criticized U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran, holds unique leverage as Iran's largest trading partner. The Chinese government has managed to mitigate the economic damage caused by the war through its strategic oil reserves, although economists warn this protection cannot last indefinitely. According to analysts, the Iran conflict could still significantly affect China's export-oriented economy. The leaders also discussed Ukraine and the Korean Peninsula, though no details were disclosed. Major business deals expected? Before the visit, the White House hinted that trade-related announcements could emerge, emphasizing that Trump would not travel without aiming for concrete results. According to Associated Press, such announcements may still come. The U.S. side hopes China will confirm commitments to purchase American soybeans and beef. Trump also said Xi signaled that China may commit to purchasing 200 Boeing aircraft. According to the White House, the leaders discussed increasing Chinese purchases of American agricultural products and expanding investment opportunities in each other's markets. Officials from the Trump administration are also seeking to establish a trade council with China to resolve commercial disputes between the two countries. Chinese Premier Li Qiang, speaking with American business executives who accompanied Trump's delegation to Beijing, emphasized the importance of friendship and cooperation in U.S.-China relations. Despite international instability, China and the United States have managed to maintain open and smooth communication and actively preserve stable and healthy bilateral relations, Li said. Tour and banquet. After the official meetings, Trump and Xi toured Beijing's famous Temple of Heaven complex, which served as an imperial spiritual site from the 12th century and later became a public park and UNESCO World Heritage Site. Xi, who often uses such visits to showcase the grandeur of Chinese history to foreign leaders, reportedly spoke to Trump about China's historical legacy throughout the tour. While walking, Trump briefly commented to journalists about the meeting. "Wonderful. Great place. Unbelievable. China is beautiful," he said, though he declined to answer questions about Taiwan. Later Thursday evening, a lavish state banquet was held in an ornate hall of the Great Hall of the People in honor of Trump and his delegation. Both leaders delivered speeches, during which Trump invited Xi to visit the White House on September 24th this year. Surrounded by red and gold columns, the leaders dined side by side at an elegantly decorated round table. The menu featured a mix of Chinese and international cuisine. Trump and Xi are expected to spend more time together on Friday at an official residence in Beijing.